Thank you, Bill. It is my pleasure to introduce Carri Jenkins. Carri is the Assistant to the President for University Communications at Brigham Young University. Carri Jenkins directs the work of BYU University Communications, serves as a member of the President's Council, and acts as the university's primary spokesperson, a role she has held since 1997. A Utah native, Carri received bachelor's and master's degrees from BYU in communications. For 12 years, she served as the associate editor of BYU Magazine, where she currently serves as the associate publisher. She has also been an instructor in the BYU Communications Department, a university speechwriter, and a publicity director. Honored by the Public Relations Society of America with Utah's Professional of the Year Award, Carri has sought throughout her career to build synergetic relationships. She has a long history with the Council for Advancement and Support of Education, CASE, which is headquartered in Washington, D.C. In 2020, she received the organization's Nancy Tracer Osgood Tribute Award. Carri is married to Paul Jenkins, and they are the parents of 2 children and 3 adorable grandchildren. I don't doubt that. Again, getting back to what Carri considers exceptional about Provo, she writes this: "Just this fall, my husband and I raced down from hiking the backside of Squaw Peak to be on time for a cultural event, giving ourselves a whole 15 minutes between the two. The fact that you can squeeze in a hike with breathtaking views and enjoy a world-class production in the same evening is remarkable. Provo allows, not only for its residents, but also its visitors, an exceptional quality of life where every day you can be inspired by beauty in all of its many varieties." Thank you, Carri.
A journalist visiting BYU once asked me, "How do you not get in a wreck every morning driving to BYU looking at those mountains?" I love that question, but it also made me think about how often I take for granted the beauty of this city and how fortunate we all are to live here. I want to share with you tonight our appreciation and our gratitude for all that this community offers, and share with you the many contributions that BYU, as an exceptional university, makes to our community. We take very seriously our desire to be a university for the benefit of the world, particularly in our own home city. During the 2002 Olympics, an LA Times reporter got to know 2 of our students. And these 2 students had both served missions for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and spoke 5 languages between them. They got him to come to campus, and these 2 women got him to meet and visit with some of their friends. When he left, he made the comment, "BYU has to be one of the most cosmopolitan universities in the nation," a view that was reflected in his article. Many do not realize that BYU students come from more than 100 countries and all 50 states, and we have 1,300 international graduate students. 2 weeks ago, it became known that BYU would be offering the first Azerbaijani language class in the United States. The ambassador coming from Azerbaijan complimented BYU by saying there is no better place than BYU for this first class to be taught, given not only our concentration on the language, but also the culture and a need to understand the people of Azerbaijan. What the ambassador said reflected the depth of language study at BYU, where we seek to not only study the language, but the culture as well. We have 73 languages that are regularly taught on campus, and there are 131 languages that are spoken on our campus. When our students come to Provo with this love of God's children worldwide, it impacts our city. You can look no further than Provo's Main Street to see this. From the Washington Post to our own local reporters, they point out that it's these globe-trotting university students who bring new tastes and our return missionaries who come with expanded palates that have helped develop this bountiful culinary scene right here in Provo. And I might add that some of our own BYU students and BYU alums who created some of our greatest restaurants here in Provo. This love for all of God's children is manifest in other ways, particularly in ways that impact the health and welfare of our citizens here in Provo. At BYU, we have what is known as Why Serve, where students on any given day can volunteer for projects that benefit our community. Last year, we had over 12,000, almost 13,000 students volunteer, and they contributed 34,216 hours of service. This does not include the work of our academic areas, which also have a strong desire to serve and work in the local community. Let me give you just two examples. One is the STEM Club that is being sponsored and managed by our McKay School of Education, where our students and faculty get to work with the children who live there. Another is a program being run by our food science and nutrition faculty and students. It's called Seeds of Hope, Sowing Seeds of Hope. And one of the initiatives is with the Provo Food and Care Coalition, where they're working to study and teach and help people improve their dietary and health habits. John S. Tanner, a beloved English professor at BYU, wrote just this winter, "Love thy neighbor thus requires thoughtful engagement with the world, including serious reflection on the academic disciplines which serve as repositories of the world's wisdom." In preparing for this presentation tonight, a colleague commented to me that really Provo is the laboratory so often for our faculty and our students, where they can be amongst you in perfecting and increasing their knowledge in so many other areas, from education to nursing to business to the sciences to engineering to communications to the humanities. The list just goes on and on. Our professors are accomplished scholars, practitioners, and artists who strive every day to make a lasting impact and an enduring impact on their students and the citizens of this valley. These rankings are not just nice statistics to quote. They really represent the repository of wisdom in this valley. This repository can be seen in the museums, the family-friendly museums, I might add, that are free, that BYU offers to this community, in the almost nightly concerts, the world-class musical and theater productions that are offered, and the scholarship that's offered that enriches, enlightens, and we hope blesses the life of all of our citizens. In an oft-quoted and very popular speech given on our campus nearly 50 years ago, President Spencer W. Kimball said, "We do not want BYU ever to become an educational factory. BYU must concern itself with not only the dispensary of facts, but with the preparation of its students to take their place in society as thinking, thoughtful, and sensitive individuals who come here dedicated to love of God, pursuit of truth, and service to mankind." It is this threefold charge that I recently saw manifest itself when our BYU students, employees, and members of the community gathered for the Martin Luther King Jr. Walk of Life in a celebration of hope and unity.
We are a family. We are united through common spiritual lineage. This common spiritual lineage can be felt in this space as we are united to remember the Christian principles that Dr. King preached. As Dr. King stated, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. This type of loving service knits our hearts with others in a feeling of common humanity, sisterhood, and brotherhood, each of us standing together. Loving service helps us to end prejudice, racism, and discrimination. We are showing the world that tonight, us in this room, we can choose loving service. And through that loving service, we can stand together in greatness.
Thank you for inviting us to be a part of this exceptional evening to really pay tribute and honor an exceptional city.